So now let's move on to the purpose of this meeting. It is our great misfortune as a nation that September 11th, 2001 has been the defining moment of this still young century. Our reaction to the events of that day will define us as a nation for years to come. So we owe it to both our ancestors and to our descendants to get that reaction right. The first results are not promising. Specifically, as even the leaders of the 9/11 Commission now admit, we still don't have the full story of what happened exactly that day. And the story that we do have is tainted by omissions and distortions. The 9/11 victims' family members, whose courage and dedication was solely responsible for the creation of a 9/11 Commission in the first place, now say that over 70% of the questions they raised have not been answered. There are many theories about what happened on 9/11, but those of you who came here this evening expecting to hear a conspiracy theory will be disappointed, because our speakers are here to present facts, not theory. Very cold and very hard facts. Physical evidence, eyewitness testimony, and the fundamental laws of physics. Matt Sullivan is the editor and publisher of the Rock Creek Free Press, which rightly bills itself as a fiercely independent newspaper, distributed in Washington, D.C. and to subscribers around the country. It's a newspaper that publishes the news that corporate media finds too inconvenient to print. Matt also brings to his presentation tonight his perspective as a trained graduate-level chemist and as a leader in the national 9/11 Truth movement. Sue Wheaton is what you might call a kitchen table activist. She has spent her life working on issues ranging from desegregation in her native Texas to opposing U.S. policy on war in Vietnam and Central America to working for voter-verifiable paper ballots in Maryland elections. As a peace and justice activist, it was a natural progression for her to move into the issue of 9/11 truth.
We are, the church has been meeting for about 2 years in Washington now, trying to learn facts and trying to help others learn facts. So we've done a lot of teaching of each other about this, and we've done a lot of outreach. And we're part of a national network of 9/11 truth activists, like all of us here, all over the country. It is quite extensive, and there's a great deal of learning and outreach going on. So we're really pleased that we had this opportunity, and we want to, I just want to spend a few minutes going over some of the physical, what we would have had we had a court trial for what was, of course, the greatest crime in United States history, which has never had a criminal investigation, which is one of the problems here. I mean, it's one of the major problems. We went straight from declaring what happened into war, and there was never any real investigation, except by citizen activists and investigators like ourselves. Was there a bomb in the towers first, before the planes hit? And there is a witness, he's a hero. His name is Martinez, what's his first name?
Willie Rodriguez.
I'm sorry, Willie Rodriguez, who was a janitor in the North Tower. And he, actually is a hero. He helped many people get out, but he had a key to the stair as well. And he had always said, well, there was a bomb first, and then the plane hit the North Tower, which of course was the one hit first. So of course, whether there was a bomb in the building or not is very important, because if there were bombs set first, and there were other bombs, then somebody was in the building setting those bombs before any plane ever hit. So the official story of the towers, actually 3 buildings coming down, one of which was never hit by a plane, coming down because of the plane, and the 19 hijackers with their box cutters could not be anywhere near the correct story. And therefore, we don't know the perpetrators, short of our investigation, if bombs were planted first. So I remembered, and some of you may too, that at Columbia University there was a seismograph that measured the impact of these explosions and the buildings coming down. Both, they measured, I didn't know this, but they measured both at the time of the initial impact of the planes, and they measured when the buildings fell. So I went and looked up on the timeline, and Elaine and Greg are gonna pass out a sheet for everybody. Sometimes split-second timing is very important. So I wanted to know the answer. Was there in fact a bomb that went off before the plane hit? And I went to a really wonderful resource here. It's a timeline, cooperativeresearch.org timeline. It's on the web, and I put it up here at the top of this sheet. And they keep adding more and more things. These are citations from major media. New York Times is the first account, what was coming out the first and second day. And by the way, those of you who have studied other unsolved mysteries know first is best. You get it before the spin sets in.